Hey guys.
No.
Hey.
That was a very mellow hey guys, Britt.
Sometimes.
Chilled
Less is
out
more.
Saturday night.
All right. Again, I still haven't gotten any better at intros. So this is our one shot for Booktube D&D. This is the Sea of Teeth, inspired by The Meg, coming in next month, and by Erica at the Perks of Books and her Megalon.
Yep.
We do have a fourth player that will be joining us, hopefully any minute now. In the meantime, before we start, I'll let you guys just give us a little intro to who you're playing. So, Britt, go ahead.
Okay, I am playing a half-orc soldier named Sened, but she goes by Sen. So, she's got like greenish, purplish skin, and like half of her lip is just missing. Like it's just gone. And she likes being strong and breaking things. So
Nice.
that's
That's fair.
I hope she gets to break out a shark tooth or something. It'd be sweet.
All right, PT, how about you, sir?
All right, I'll be playing the role of Cyrus Grady, who is a cleric of the Tempest domain. He's a human and proud disciple of the god Talos. He's really into it, and he's kind of a dick. So.
All
right, perfect. And Krista.
All right, so I'm playing a male elf who his name is Coney, and he's a sailor, and he loves his ship and his crew, and he wants the biggest trophy.
Nice.
Ambitious. All right. And when our fourth player arrives, we'll have Peter on the hangout playing Roland. He's going to be an elf ranger, and I'm not sure about his backstory. I guess we'll figure that out when he shows up and we start playing.
Hey, Brittany, what was your name again?
Sen.
Sen. All right, thanks.
Yep.
Wait, how do you pronounce it?
Sen.
Send?
Sen.
Oh, Sen. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at the full name. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. So for those in the audience, sorry, there is an introductory video that's uploaded a little while ago to give you the brief synopsis of what's going on. But for those that skip that, where we are right now is, the party is aboard the ship, the Alton, captained by Erica Passer. They're en route to Benchley Island in a small community there called Pal Shar, at the behest of a gentleman they met in Nori-Mo, worried about how his family have not been in contact with him in the last couple of months. Benchley Island is a very small, remote island just beyond the Rom Pal Shar, which is a notoriously dangerous sea. And it is home to one of the most sought-after wines in all Nori-Mo, which is why Erica is going there in the first place, because she's been hired by tavern keepers to try and go and get basically a shipment of this wine. So we will pick up with you guys again on board the Alton. You've been sailing for a number of days now, and you're probably still another day or two outside of Benchley Island. And let's see. So what would you guys, what would your characters be doing just to pass the time or so? Like anything particularly you like to accomplish?
Sen has a deck of cards, so if anybody wants to play cards, they could be doing that.
I appreciate the offer, but I think I'm gonna be setting up a little shrine to the god Talos below deck, and just like just really getting into it with some serious praying time. You know, just it's really getting charismatic up in there.
All right.
I think I will be helping, like, sail the ship, manning everything,
Okay.
Okay.
following the captain's orders. You know.
Sounds good. All right. And again, not to put you guys on the spot, but just briefly, character-wise, why exactly did you guys want to help Mr. Dion Jorhal in finding what's going on with his family? Because he's not very wealthy. He wasn't able to really offer a lot of money or compensation for it. So is there any particular motivation for reason or motivation for you to come along, or is it just more or less following your adventuring party?
I think for Cyrus, it's he was basically going this way anyway. He grew up in a remote coastal town that has the second best wine, and he's always kind of salty about everyone claiming that Shire has the best wine. So he's going to go taste it for himself, and you know he's not above a little sabotage if the opportunity arises. But mostly he wants to go check out this wine and see if it's actually better than his hometown stuff.
Okay.
Coney likes the sea. He's always grown up on the ocean, like on ships. So he's kind of just in it for the fun of the adventure and chilling with the crew.
Sen is just trying to get to from point A to point B to meet up with some of her old bunkmates.
Okay, that works. All right, so we could say Cyrus is. What am I saying? Yeah, Cyrus, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Cyrus Grady. Cyrus is going to spend a lot of the trip basically in a bunk, setting up a little shrine, giving his god some love. Sen, you probably orchestrated like a relatively high stakes game of cards with some of the more shady members of the crew. Let me see. Actually, because I like the first roll of the game be pretty ridiculous. Are you playing when you play cards with them? Are you playing it straight up, or are you being a little mischievous with it?
No, she's being honest for once.
Okay. Let's see. What am I going to do for that? Give me just a straight up wisdom roll.
A wisdom roll?
Yeah.
Okay. That is wisdom. 12, Def.
12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nothing too great, nothing too terrible either. So yeah, you organize this game with the crew, and you've actually made a little bit of bank from this. So I'm going to say over the course of your entire game with them, you obtained 5 gold pieces.
Okay.
Money bags.
You declined to play.
Yeah, you probably could have won more, but you lost a couple hands.
Okay.
So this is going to bring us to about a little more than halfway across the trip. Krista, give me a perception check.
Okay. Let's see. 24.
Jeez, okay.
That's pretty perceptive.
Yeah. All right, so you're spending a lot of time on deck, interacting with the crew, and just getting the lay of the ship, because this isn't your ship, but it's like it's well made. And the Alton is notoriously known to be one of the faster ships not tied to a particular navy. So yeah, you're spending a lot of time on the deck and helping it with deckhands and such. As you look over the side, you see probably about 40, 50 feet away, 3 dorsal fins breaking the surface of the water and swimming around near the ship. Not quite heading towards, but also keeping kind of like running parallel with the ship. And it does not appear as though anybody else has noticed them yet.
Okay.
Jump in, try to ride them.
Let's see. I don't. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on the ocean, and I'm gonna probably point that out to someone. Yup.
Okay. As you look over and you see the dorsal fins off in the distance, the very large, burly woman that you know to be the first mate of the Alton. You're not quite sure what her real name is. Captain Passer just keeps calling her shark bait. But yeah, so you point out to her, and she looks over, gives a discerning eye, and she says, "It looks they're far enough away. We should be fine. I'll go tell the captain regardless." And then she storms off. Well, not storms off, but walks off. Yeah. So. Okay. So with that, the journey continues for a little while. Where is that too? My apologies, people.
No problem.
Okay, yeah. So probably another hour or so has passed. Maybe an hour or two. And then all of you hear kind of like a large commotion coming from the top of the deck. A lot of the crew starts running over to one side of the ship and looking over. Does Sen and Cyrus want to basically come up?
Yeah, Cyrus will come up. I'm gonna finish my very loud prayer first word. Like, Lord Talos, please. I know you've cursed me with this wretched crew. Sorry, pardon me, Lord Talos. Sounds like they need my help upstairs. They do not know anything. So I will talk at you later. Then I'll head up.
All right. And Sen, you're still playing the game when a deckhand comes down and like crashes open the door and frantically tells everyone, "All right, Captain needs us all on deck, like ASAP." And then they all get up and start heading up towards it.
Okay. She's gonna take out her shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
And while everyone's scrambling over to the left side of the ship, Coney, I'm assuming you're also going to do this as well because you're already up on the deck. It's easy for you to see this anyway.
Yeah.
But strange, like this is unlike anything you guys have seen before. But as you get to the side and you see what everyone is looking at, there's another dorsal fin, but looks like it's about 7 or 8 feet tall, just the fin. And Coney, you're a sailor, so give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Or a nature check, whichever one. Yeah, sorry. Nature is intelligence.
15.
15? Okay. You have, in your travels as a sailor, heard of this, I guess, legend of a giant, massive creature that stalks the Rom Pal Shar. No one has really given any stock to people that has claimed to have seen it before, but it's what appears to you. Like I said, with an 8-foot tall dorsal fin, you'd estimate that the creature underneath is about 80 feet long.
Okay, that's the
Pretty long.
the creature.
Yeah, this is you're confident that this is most likely the the Mega Rin.
Okay.
Boy, I wish somebody knew what this was. Let's check it out. You could tell the rest of us.
Okay, so I shout that that I think this is the Megarin, obviously, and that to pay attention to like the other end because everyone's paying attention to the one end. So try and like figure out how long exactly this thing is. So try and see like the other end of the creature.
Very good. Yeah. So you guys hear her kind of fill you in here and call it. So what would you like to do? As the fin is like not heading straight towards the ship. It's heading in the direction of the ship, but not like at where it's going to like collide or anything. But it is coming very close.
Oh. I'll run over to Coney and put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Oh, Talus has blessed you with wisdom," and then I'll cast guidance. So you can add a D4 to any ability check in the next 1 minute, just in case, just in case something goes out in the next 1 minute.
Okay. Sen, are you doing anything?
No, not yet.
Just observing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Peter's here.
Hello.
Hello.
Ooh.
Peter, you look different. All right. So Peter, just a quick to fill you in. You watched the video, right?
Me? Yes, I did. I skimmed that video.
Perfect. All right. So the only thing that's happened so far is you guys are on the ship. You're on the Alton on the way to Benchley Island. Coney, Krista's character, has seen a couple of sharks off the side of the ship. And now, presently, there is the 8-foot tall dorsal fin kind of coming towards the ship, but just not in an intercept course. We're just coming nearby. Is there anything you like to do? The crew's kind of scrambling right now. You're on the deck looking at this as well. Is there anything in particular you'd like to do before anything else happens?
Oh man. I think I'm gonna go to the edge of the ship.
Okay. Just look at and keep watching.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So Coney calls out and yells, people should be looking to the other side of the ship as well, just to get a look at the scope of this thing. And you guys can look up towards the helm and see Captain Passer standing by, just like kind of yelling commands at the crew, who for the most part are not the most attentive at the moment. They're kind of awestruck by what they're seeing. But yeah, a couple of the crew get to the other side of the ship. They look over. The fin cuts almost right in front of the ship in a perpendicular course, and looking down through it, you guys actually the water's a bit murky, so give me a perception check. Anyone who wants to take a look?
Okay. 19.
Okay. And you guys?
I get a 12.
I have 18.
14.
You all see it pretty well. The creature underneath is what you as players would expect to be a huge shark. Lengthwise, it's slightly longer than the length of the ship that you're on. It's, again, probably 80, 85 feet long. Coney and Sen, you guys specifically see like 4 rows of just jagged and serrated teeth just opening and closing as it's going through the water. It looks as though it isn't paying much attention to the ship itself and more or less just going by. So you don't feel there's any imminent danger or anything of this creature at the moment.
Okay. The captain is around, right? Like
Yeah.
nearby.
Yeah, she's up at the navigation area.
Sen is going to turn to her and ask for, what should they do about this thing in the water.
Okay. The captain is pretty well kept together, all things considering. She says, it doesn't appear as though it pays paying us any attention. So I figure we count our blessings and maintain the course. It might be best to keep someone watching in case that changes, but I think for now we've been blessed with fortune.
All right. Does anybody want to keep watch?
I will keep watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't prayed in like 5 minutes, so I don't think I'm gonna
head back then.
I gotta get back to that.
All right. How about you, Roland?
So they're keeping watch, right?
Yep.
And we're also on this boat right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what else is there to do? I mean,
It's and with that he leaves. All right, so we'll get back to Peter in a bit. Sen, how you feeling?
If all is well, she is going to try to go back to her card game.
One track mind, people. All right. Roland, what were you saying?
I'll keep watch with them.
Okay. It goes by fairly uneventful. However, while watching as the fin goes away, when people start, while everyone is still kind of looking at it at this point, you do see off in the distance, like a giant splash and what seems to be like a loud cry in agony and pain. You can discern basically the creature's probably kind of devoured some kind of large other fish, like a whale or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it for it at this point in time. You guys can keep watching for a while. Everything seems to calm down a little bit. The crew is still pretty shaken, but you continue on your path. Later the next day, you guys are roughly half a day from the Widow's Gate, which is something Eric has explained. It's kind of like the opening that leads into the I guess the sea around Benchley Island. From there, are you okay? So, Coney, are you still up on deck keeping watch as well as Roland? Like the next day, you guys still kind of lingering around and keeping an eye out?
Yeah, I'm still fully a part of the crew, helping.
Okay.
Probably not keeping such a close eye on the sea just because there hasn't really been anything since then. But still there.
Yeah.
And I've gone to the complete front of the boat, Titanic style, sort of almost falling off.
So you get your arms stretched out and you just
Yeah, and I'm just keeping watch like that.
All right. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 16.
16.
Yep.
All right. You notice off in the distance, it seems to be there's something a bunch of little things floating in the water, and not the least of which is a large, looks like a makeshift raft, and there are 3 bodies laying atop it.
Ooh. Can I dive in and save them?
Bye.
you can. Is
I
that what
shall
you
dive. I'm diving.
Coney, give me a perception check.
Okay. 23.
23. Okay. While you're just making the rounds and just doing odds and ends for the crew of the Alton, your eye catches to the front of the ship, and you see your elf companion, your eccentric elf companion, dive into the sea. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to run up to him and like grab him and tell him not to jump because that's stupid because we're in unknown territory.
All right, give me because this is all going to basically be all happening at once. Give me a dex check, and Roland, you can also give me a dex or a strength check.
Okay.
16.
24.
Oh,
And that's gonna be for
for dex check. All right. Also, Chris, I'm sorry, I meant like acrobatics. So if you're proficient with that, you can add your bonus to it.
Oh. Okay.
But he's still gonna win.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see him looking like he's ready to jump, and you make a beeline for him, and you reach out to grab him just before he's ready to take a leap, and your hand just misses as he dives forward and plunges into the shark-infested water.
Woo! It's cold in here.
All right.
I'm gonna go get those bodies.
Pete, I'm gonna need you to give me an athletics check now.
Okay. Do. Strength and then okay.
Are you using the sheet that I showed you?
Yep. And then I'm going to this dice website, and I got a 28.
What are you adding to the roll? Just curious.
12.
What? No, you don't add 12 to the roll. You just add your modifier.
Oh, okay, I got you. One moment.
It's okay.
So maybe Coney would have succeeded in that case.
Super athletic.
I still got in that ocean. That's what matters. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Well, it's cool for
21.
this one.
I had 20.
So yeah, your athletics is 3.
Okay,
You're using
gotcha.
yeah. All right. So yeah, that'll be good. So you are able to somewhat keep at least to the side so the ship doesn't run you over. And he starts paddling over towards the people floating on the makeshift raft. Sen and Cyrus, is there anything you guys would like to be doing while this is going on?
Yeah, I want to use thaumaturgy and cast a spell and make my voice come as if it's coming from Peter and saying, "I'm an idiot."
Yes. Dude, give me a performance check.
Performance for charisma. 4.
Okay, never mind.
Nobody bought my performance.
It's the least convincing thing ever. However, there are a couple people on the ship that are laughing because they believe it. How would you Sen while this madness is going on?
Did Sen notice that their companion just leapt off the side of the boat, or no?
Well, would you have been on the deck?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a perception check and I'll see if you know.
Ooh, that is not a natural 20, but 19, 20, 21.
Sure. I don't think you noticed that he was about to jump, but you do when Coney starts rushing towards the front to stop him. You do see the commotion and you see him leap into the water.
Sen is going to walk over to Coney and just, did that really just happen?
I'm afraid so. I'd like to yell "man overboard," so to alert our crew members that one of them dove into the water. And I'd like to start trying to like tie some like rope to an arrow so that way I can like try and shoot it into the water so he can at least like hold the rope. If you
Okay.
understand me.
Yeah, that can be done. No problem.
Yeah.
So you scream "man overboard," which does get the attention of Captain Passer, who's once again back up by the helm. She looks over to the side and sees the elf just swimming. You can see an almost scowl on her face because he's swimming away from the ship, so she knows there's something off with this. It didn't just fall overboard. Yeah, she starts again calling it commands. You see 3 sailors go to the side and start lowering a longship to the side. And you are able to get that rope tied around an arrow quite easily. That's no problem. Sen, how about you?
Sen is just, she can't believe that this is happening, so she's just kind of staring like, what
Deer in
is
headlights.
this? What have I gotten myself into, basically?
Okay. And Cyrus, is there anything you would like to do before we go back to Roland?
I just throw up a little prayer. Dear Talos, please make his death quicker than he deserves so that he doesn't suffer too much. Amen.
Awesome. All right. So, Roland, you managed to swim your way towards the raft, and you find that it's not actually a raft per se, but more like a partially destroyed hull that looks like another ship.
Ooh.
And you see 3 unconscious people laying on it, a woman and 2 men.
Okay. I was gonna. Well, okay. So is the rope being thrown to me yet? Because I was gonna do something else, but if that happens, then
You get to the raft just as she finishes doing the rope with the arrow. So, Chris, or what are you doing with that?
Well, if I just finish tying the knot, then I would like to shoot it into the water to try and get him to hold on to it.
You're gonna shoot into the water? Okay.
Yeah.
definitely don't aim for my face.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim like maybe like a couple feet away, obviously, because I don't want to kill you.
Aim for the dead bodies.
Now he's at the hull at this point. So are you going like shooting for the water near him, or are you trying to get on the hull itself? There's a fair amount of wood there that you could probably sink it into.
Yeah, I'll try and shoot towards like the wood.
Sure. All right. Give me an attack roll.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh, okay, that was bad. 9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay. You take aim, fire your short bow. It drops probably about 15 feet short of the target. And the rope just starts sinking into the water. Okay, Roland, so you do see the arrow come towards you, but fall short. What are you planning on doing now?
So can I swim to it or no?
You can try, but it's sinking into the water. It's about 10 or 15 feet away.
Man. Well, I was going to conjure a grasping vine. Can I do that instead?
One second. That I'm
Like-
not sure of.
Like
I
out
think
of the
that's
bottom of
from
the
ground.
ocean. Like out of the bottom of the ocean.
Does grasping vine require ground for that? Hold on, let me see.
There are ocean weeds that I could totally do that with. Wrap it around this hull, get these bodies on the boat. We're going to start this mystery. We're going to look into these bodies. What's happening?
You know? It doesn't specify. So sure.
Loophole. Let's do this.
Yeah. Bonus action was. Yeah, I guess technically it's supposed to be a creature, but no, that's fine. So yeah, you're able to. Wait, grasping vine. How do you have grasping vine?
Well, I have 3 spells.
Yeah, but that's a 4th level spell.
Yeah, I'm 4th level.
No. You
Oh,
only have. Yeah, sorry. You only have 1st level spells.
Oh man.
Yeah, the spell levels and your level are not the same thing.
All right, so I'm just gonna swim for that rope then.
Okay. I'm just something goes off there. All right.
Next best option.
Give me an athletics check for it.
Okay, let's see.
So just roll a d20 plus 3.
Okay, so I got a 12.
12?
And also before I do it, can I look at the bodies too? Can I just like do a quick look?
Not before, no. Because like she
Okay,
fired
well,
it,
as I'm-
and it's sinking down.
Yeah. All right, fine. I'll just go for that rope then.
All right. So with the 12, yeah, you would need to dive a little bit into afterwards, but sure, yeah, you're able to get the rope. And I'll even say, yeah, you can swim. You can take the rope and swim back to it. So you now have the rope and arrow in your hand, and you're back at the makeshift raft.
Cool.
What now?
Okay. So, does she have the other end of this this rope?
She does, yeah.
Okay. And is this like a magical person? Can she like lift me up on with the like? Is this like a very strong person or no?
Coney, are you strong?
I mean, I don't know how strong. I mean, I'm sailor strong.
Can you lift me in 3 bodies?
Probably not, but I can also yell for help. So, thankfully, I'm not on a crew by myself, you know?
Yeah.
Those crew members to lift all of us up? That's not a bad idea. So I'm just going to wait here then.
Well, I could start. I mean, if you're holding on to the bodies, I can like start trying to like pull you closer to the ship.
Yeah. So I have the bodies under my arms, and I'm just holding on to that rope with my teeth.
Okay. Oh, so you're not going to use the
Teeth check.
the wood itself? You're going to just take the people?
Yeah. I don't want to take the hull of a boat.
Well, it's a small like.
No, I don't need that.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, I'll run over and help Coney.
Yeah, Sen's gonna run over and help too.
So yeah, you guys, it doesn't take a lot of effort, to pull the to pull the elf and the 3 bodies he's holding on to, towards the ship. However, I'm going to get you guys to collectively give me an athletics check to see how fast you do it, because not too far from the raft, you see 2 more dorsal fins pop up and head towards them.
I got an 11.
17.
That's a 15 for me, Dev.
All right. Yeah, that is enough collectively. So you manage to pull it in. You see the fins coming. Pull even harder. You guys are able to secure all 3 of them plus Roland onto the hull of the ship. When you lay them down, the 3 are unconscious. They are just seemingly dressed in common garb. Nothing too overly remarkable about these people. Yeah, Roland, you made it back to the ship.
So nobody recognizes these bodies? I'm going to ask everyone. Does anyone recognize these people? No.
They look like those guys who were laying on that raft a few minutes ago.
That is very true. Okay. Should we maybe loot them?
So
Maybe we should check to see if, you know, they're like in stable condition and
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, whoever wants to do that, give me a medicine check.
Medicine. 13, 15, 7.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's enough. You give them a once over. You see that they are definitely just unconscious. They're not dead or dying. And you would discern that they've probably fairly exhausted too, as if they probably have been out there for a while.
Okay.
When I think it was Roland who called out, Venom recognizes them. There is a crew person that speaks up and says that the clothing that they're wearing? Wow, okay. The clothing that they're wearing is pretty congruent with the way people dress in Malanshar.
I think I went on vacation to Malanshar one time, so.
Probably just had a little too much of that subpar Malanchar wine.
I will be back. Just a quick second. I will be back.
Okay. Devin, can she give 3 of her rations to the people?
You mean like food?
Yeah.
Well, right now they wouldn't be able to eat it. They're unconscious.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can she run to get them, or find somebody who could possibly give them medical attention?
you mean like a cleric?
Yeah, the cleric.
I'm gonna have to pray on this for a little bit and see. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could heal these fools.
Right.
I'm not positive if I would have used a spell slot at that, but all right. I guess I'll heal one of them. I will do. I'll do healing word, and let's hope that's enough to rouse one of them. So that's gonna heal them by 5.
5. Okay. So the 3 people are it's a man and a woman that look about middle age, and then an older gentleman. Which one are you healing?
Not the older gentleman. He's had his time. I'll probably do the younger woman. The woman.
Cyrus is becoming my favorite cleric I've ever played with. The woman?
Yes.
Okay. Where are they now? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you speak your arcane words, and then some energy comes into the woman. Her eyes open up, and she looks around, frantic. Where am I? Where am I? What's going on?
I will speak up to the lady and I will say you are on our ship and we have saved your life we've saved your life because you would have died from a horrible monster 100 feet long with 10 rows of teeth, and you should thank us for our service.
And I'll just interject when she says, "We've saved your life." She mostly means me.
She looks back and's like, "What? So you've seen the beast too? Where are we? We need to get out of the water."
You're out of the water. You're on a ship.
I'm not sure how she would respond to that.
We've also seen lots of beasts.
No, you don't understand. Like we were trying to get help but it ripped through our ship like it was nothing.
You mean the hull you were laying on?
Possibly.
I mean, we're literally sailing towards the island right now, lady. I don't know what else you want us to do. We're on our way to land right now.
Okay. How much longer? How far are we?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention when at the beginning when they talked about that. So.
I thought we were half a day's journey. Is that right?
Yeah. It's probably about a little more than half a day left. You're just passing the Widow's Gate. Well, actually, so yeah, you're about half a day from the Widow's Gate, so probably about a day and a half left to get to Benchley. Sorry, dog interruption.
Yeah, so we're about a day and a half away. If you would think you could swim faster, you're welcome to try. Otherwise, you could just hang out here and answer questions. But otherwise, keep your mouth shut. Cool.
She's like so torn between gratitude and intimidated that she's not sure what to say at the moment. She says, "Okay, that's fair."
What's your name?
Maglin.
And your other companions?
Okay, she looks over, and seems like it's the first time she even noticed that they were there.
Uh-huh.
And she has like one of those like kind of weepy faces, single tear falling down, looking at the two men on the hull on the deck. She says one is Treval, which is her husband, and the other one, is Philitry, and that would be his father. She thought they were dead. She thought they were all dead. Everybody was dead. Are they okay?
Who's to say? Really, I guess time will tell on that front. How long ago did you get attacked, ma'am?
It's really hard to say. What day is it? And then from the response that she gets from that, she said, "You guys can say it's been about 3 days."
Okay.
Cool. Well, you made it. You survived 3 days on that little raft thing, so day and a half on the ship shouldn't be a problem.
True. All right, 1 sec.
Oh no, it's Meg.
All right, dog is gone. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Glad you made it.
All right. So, you have again about a day and a half journey left before you make the Malinchar. Over this period of time, I'll give you guys again the options or anything you guys would like to do, to someone to talk to, learn, whatever. You have free reign at this point.
I would like to spend just a lot of time quizzing this lady about the details of the Malinchire wine, like the barreling techniques they use, how much like tannin are we talking? Is it anything I can glean from it? I'm really curious.
Okay. How about you two?
Sen is going to try to get the other two to wake up.
Okay. And Coney?
Was there anyone on the ship who didn't notice us rescue the 3 survivors and Roland?
I don't think so. It's become a pretty big story now of the crazy elf that just jumped over the hull or jumped over the side for seemingly no reason. They came back with 3 bodies. So everyone seems to kind of know.
Okay, well, I'm going to still go up to some of the sailors and retell the story about how I rescued Roland from his attempted suicide.
Okay. So for you, as you do this, each time you tell the story to someone new, and you don't even care that they already know the story. Each time you tell it, it gets more and more elaborate. Like, it starts off with just what actually happened, and then the next time you tell it to somebody, it's like, oh, there was like 5 sharks coming at them, and then another time it's like, oh, that big shark came back, and like you literally embellish every single time.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah. All right, and Cyrus, so you're going to grill her about the wine itself.
Yeah, and like I mean, really, what I'm looking for is some insider like trade secrets that you might let slip that I could take back to my village. So I'll probably try to be pretty casual about it and just act like I'm a wine enthusiast and just see what I can get her to reveal.
All right. It takes a little while for her to get comfortable enough to just have casual conversation, let alone like in depth, serious talk.
Right.
But eventually, you do get on the topic of the wine, and although she visibly looks a little like annoyed at it, kind of as though, one of those things where once you say you're from Malashar, everybody wants to talk about the wine kind of thing. But she obliges because, you were so pivotal in saving her life, as you said. She does break down a couple of the steps, a little bit of the process of the winery that does kind of think you could probably take it to improve your own endeavors, but she does attest that the main thing that makes Benchley berry wine so sought after is the Benchley berries themselves, and they only grow on that island. That's what makes them so succulent and so tasty, I guess. So it's not something that realistically be replicated, but you do pick up a couple of tips of what they do that you think could improve your own practices.
Sounds good. I make a mental note to try to steal a couple sprigs of the vine, and then also take a soil sample so I can see what we can do.
That is awesome. All right. Sen, you spend some time. You're not really medically trained, so you don't really have a method of reviving them at all, but over time they just start to come around. There is a ship, like kind of like a doctor person there that's like tending to them, and after a while they do regain consciousness, like sometime early the next day. So both Philitry and Travail are coming to consciousness as you are there in the room with them.
Okay. You should note that she probably punched one of them in the stomach at least once.
Okay, but why?
She thought that would work.
Oh, like CPR?
Yeah.
Or like
while they're unconscious.
Wake up, crash. Okay. So you tried to help them, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was this really interesting scene that happened like within a few hours of you going down, where you tried to revive them and you start crashing down on the chest of the older guy until the doctor comes in and like, what are you doing? Get out. And then she kicked you out. But you ended up coming back and promising not to help anymore. And yeah, now they are revived.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything you would like to say or do while you're in the room with them now?
Sorry I punched you. I thought it would work. I thought it was a good idea. That usually works when nobody else will wake up, so I figured.
The old guy gets up and like just rubs his chest almost as though like it's in pain, but looks not quite sure what you're referring to because he has no idea that you did that. He assumes that the pain just comes from the shipwreck.
Okay.
All right, so you're just going to keep watch on them to make sure they're okay and just hang out there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, after all these shenanigans, you guys on the horizon see the small island of Benchley come into view. It doesn't take very much longer than that for the Alton to make dock, and you guys notice that you are being you're being welcomed to the island with what looks to be like a hero's welcome. There's like dozens and dozens of people just by the shoreline watching the ship come in and looking on inquisitively. You guys, well, the ship gets to the dock, and Captain Passer and Sharkbait are the first two that step off and immediately start speaking with someone that looks, fairly prominent. What would you guys like to do as everyone starts to depart?
Well, does this hero's welcome include wine? I think that's wine.
You don't see any wine in their hands, no.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna kind of walk around to the crowd and just kind of start inquiring about. Boy, I sure am thirsty. That was super rough when we saved those good people. Real thirsty work. And just kind of hint very unsubtly that I want some wine.
So I'm thirsty. All right. How about Coney?
I think I will say hi and let the people know that are welcoming us that we saved some of their villagers' lives from thousands upon thousands of sharks, and but I think I'm gonna try and keep closer to the captain though, just because in case there's new things to do while on the island.
Okay. Yep. And Sen?
Sen is just kind of like looking around, like in the crowds, seeing if she recognizes anybody.
Okay. First, we'll have Cyrus. So, from schmoozing with the crowd that's shown up, you get a lot of thanks, a lot of cheers, a lot of bewilderment. You guys are the first ship that has come into Mal Shar, other than a foreign ship, in the last maybe 2.5 months. So everyone is kind of up and curious of what's going on. You do get a couple of people say, "Oh, if you're thirsty, then you should check out the Red Hill pub." And then they point in the direction. It's a small village; it's pretty easy to see where they're pointing. But it is a local tavern where they do sell the Benchley berry wine, amongst other things.
All right. Well, whoever said that, I'm going to clap him on the back and say, "All right, thank you for the information. Why don't we go there now and you can buy me a drink?"
Yes, that sounds like a grand idea.
Awesome.
He's a really big. He's just taken back by somebody new being in town. So yeah, you and this random dude, you didn't even get his name yet, head off towards the Red Hill pub. Coney, so you stick next to the captain. The captain goes up to this more well-dressed man, still in the same kind of garb as the people on the ship. He introduces himself as Alistair Langwin. He is the de facto town leader, although the hierarchy of Mal Shar is pretty casual. It's not really a formal title or anything, but he welcomes Captain Passer to Mal Shar and inquires of any trouble in the passageway, because they haven't been able to get even word of outside of this island in so long that it's a welcoming sight to see someone new showing up. And so you said you're also going to be regaling people with we saved these people kind of stories, right?
Yeah.
In the midst of the conversation between Alistair and Captain Passer, Alistair overhears you tell this to somebody nearby and looks over and says, what did you say?
We saved 3 of your villagers from the terrible depths of the ocean. We were attacked, barely escaped with our lives, all of us.
You said you saved some of our residents. Where are they? and then
So I would assume they're not on the ship anymore. They
yeah, that's what I was going to say. They're as they asked that, they're departing the ship now with some assistance. Sen, what did you say you were doing?
Sen is looking out at the crowds, seeing if
she
he recognizes.
Okay. All right. So still with Coney. The three people are kind of being helped down the walkway onto the ship, and Alistair kind of like loses his mind. He's like, "Oh my god, I thought we lost you," and then runs up. Well, not runs, but like heads up towards the three of them, and he throws his arms around Trevel, and they embrace.
So I would like to keep following the town leader guy, and just tell him that, I saved his villagers.
All right. Yeah. So you get up and again you reiterate how important you were to saving the three of them, of which Maglin actually corroborates your story and says how they were lost at sea. They were attacked by this creature and didn't think they were going to make it out, but then the ship showed up and saved them. And Alistair turns to you specifically because you followed him up there and says, "We owe you a great debt. We sent out a ship. It's been so long since anyone has come that we sent a ship to try and find what was going on, what has been happening, if we've been cut off from the rest of the country. But to hear now that a creature may be the cause, that's very disturbing. So we owe you a great debt for your service. Thank you."
You are welcome. I am sure that we will have a drink of your delicious wine that I've been hearing about. And we can figure out what to do with this beast.
Yes, no, of course. This is a time for celebration. There will be lots of drink and lots of food. Definitely, we will prepare. We will prepare right now, actually. And with his arm over Trevel, they make their way down the walkway and start heading back in towards the center of Mal Shar.
I just want to make sure that I bow to him to at least know that I am of his service.
All right. He noticed. He duly noted. All right, so got distracted there for a second. Sen, you want to see if there's anybody you notice?
Yes.
Give me a perception check.
Perception? Ooh, that is a 5.
Okay. There's nobody you notice that's familiar. It's the crowd's kind of blending together, so it's just like a mass of people. So it's it's a nice welcome, but there's nothing really specific about anybody here. You do notice Cyrus and what's seemingly a new friend starting to walk towards one of the bigger buildings of the village.
She's probably going to follow Cyrus.
Okay. All right. And that brings us back to Cyrus. So you make your way to the Red Hill Pub. It's fairly lavish in terms of Mal Shar kind of architecture, but this is basically just like a glorified small village. Very, very primitive housing, but inside there's a large shelf with various bottles of different ales and wines, and there's not a lot of people there at the moment because most of them are outside, in awe of the Alton. But there is a bartender working that you would be able to get some drinks from. The gentleman you're with says, "Come here. I will gladly buy you a drink."
Thank you. And remember, this is my first drink of Melanshire wine, so you probably don't want to go for the cheap stuff because this is going to be my initial opinion. So just keep in mind.
He was literally, before you said this, he was talking to the bartender. He's like, "Yes, we're gonna have 2 glasses of blueberry," and then you say this. He's like, let's get him some Benchley berry wine."
Excellent, and one for my friend here, Sen, as well. Of course, you wouldn't leave her out.
Oh, thank you.
Sen walks in through the door as he's placing the order, and so yeah, Cyrus points him out, and next thing you guys know, there's 3 goblets sitting on the bar full of Benchley berry wine.
Nice. I start my lengthy tasting process, which includes a lot of swirling, a lot of
check its texture, consistency.
See the trails that leaves in wine.
Coney, what are you gonna do after Alistair leaves?
I think I'm going to just go and see what the town life is all about, see what kind of, things might catch my eye. Yeah.
Okay. So give me a perception check as you do that.
Okay.
Or no, an investigation check.
17.
17. All right. So you're able to kind of go just casually walk around town. You do notice something that does catch your eye as you're peeking in through and just kind of people watching for a while. There's a small home near the corner of the town, and you see a woman go into it. She's dressed quite differently than the rest of the people of Melanshire. In fact, her garb looks more Redatomian, so from the nation of Redatome, which is the neighboring nation. And she enters her little cottage, leaving the door open.
That's odd. Well, is this like a safe town where they feel like they can just leave their doors open, or is it just very different?
Well, it is. It's a very small town. There's probably 30 or 40 people tops in this village. So it's not like it's maybe a little more than that, maybe like 50 or 60. But it's a small village. So you could discern it one way or the other. It could just be very very casual, very welcoming, or it could be specifically for you. It's really hard to tell.
I think I would like to maybe go at a different angle of the house and just keep an eye on her movements, maybe if there's a window.
Sure. Yeah, you can get up to the cottage well enough. There's not really a window, but you can see inside. Inside, she seems to be just moving back and forth from what looks to be a kitchen area. How close exactly are you getting to look?
Maybe 15 feet or so. I want to stay kind of relatively far so I could maybe look like I'm not actually watching her.
Okay. So you want to not be seen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do me a favor. Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Hey, Britt. Ryan's in the chat already.
Ryan?
Already rooting for the monster.
Of course he is. I wouldn't expect any different.
I got an 11.
An 11? Okay. So you're trying to maintain your distance away from the hut. Looking in, she's again browsing to and from what looks to be a little kitchen area. As you're peeking and trying to get a sense of what she's doing, you hear her cry from inside. Sorry. You hear cry from inside. Well, what you waiting for? Just come on in. Or are you just gonna stay out there and look at me all day?
I haven't decided yet. What color? Um,
What strike me as the timid type.
Sure, why not? I'll just go in.
Okay. As you go in, she offers you to take a seat, and you see where she was fiddling at the kitchen area. It's just a kettle, so she has basically boiling water now. There's a mug, and she lays a mug in front of you. She's like, "Would you like a drink?" Basically, a mug of tea.
Can I do a perception check to see if it is tea?
A perception, yeah. Investigate, like looking at the tea. You mean, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Sure.
see if there's any discoloration or something
Okay,
that might not make it tea.
sure.
14.
14. Okay. She pours up a mug, and it's definitely not something you've seen before per se. It doesn't smell nefarious at all, but it does come off as a tea, but a really like sweet smelling tea. So essentially probably just a different type of tea than you've ever had before, but you don't smell any like toxins or poisons or anything that you may have experienced before.
Okay, I'll just chug it down.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's going to bring us back to the tavern. So the three of you were there. Well, two of you and the random guy that's still unnamed.
Yeah.
So Sen is going to take Cyrus about probably 2 or 3 minutes before he even takes his first sip. How are you doing with the wine?
She's kind of sipping it casually, not she's kind of giving Cyrus a bit of a weird look, like, why don't you just drink it, enjoy it? But she's going to ask what their new companion's name is.
Okay. He nods his head kind of like timidly and says Donaro. On the stoop. You didn't know Redatome was the name of the country? I think you're just catching on to that now.
Aw.
That's all good.
You put so many references, Devin. It's hard to catch them all, like a Pokemon.
I'm taking my first sip of the wine, and I'm trying not to act impressed or anything, but I'm pretty impressed. This is much better than the stuff that they make in a.
I was gonna say, I think you should make like either a Constitution or performance check or something to not show your glee at how good this wine is.
I'll do a performance check. Let's see.
Sure, yeah.
Oh no, it was a 3.
All right, so you take a sip of the wine, and like your eyes just like open wide, and you like can't help but grin. But then like after a couple seconds, like, oh my god, what's happening? And then you like bunker down and keep a stoic face. But everybody in the room saw how gleeful you got that sip.
Nice. Well, as I'm recovering from that, like I think I'm going to ask the bartender, because like we're supposed to be looking for somebody, right? The father of that one.
That's true.
What do we know his name or anything?
Crap, I had this on here a second ago. Yes, you guys do know his name. I gotta find where I got it written down. But yeah, you were sent there by Dion Jorhal, and you're looking for his father, who has lost contact with him.
All right, so I'll ask the bartender. Hey, looking for a friend of mine, Mr. Warhol. I think what's his name, but I can't remember exactly. Might have mispronounced that slightly. Yeah. Could you point me in his? Does he live around here or what?
Jorhal. You mean Jorhal, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I said for sure.
Yeah, that's Philip. He's just up the road, actually, probably with four homes down. on the left.
Cool. I'm gonna head over there, but do you have another glass of wine I could have to go? Do you have to go cups available?
He says, "Sure, you can get another goblet. That'll be 5 gold pieces."
Yeah, no, it's at my. Just put it on the tab. Remember, my friend said.
At this point, De Niro says, "No," and then he whispers something to him, and then the bartender's like, "Oh, okay, no problem. So here you go."
Oh, thanks.
On the house.
Cool. All right. Hey, Sen, do you want to come with me to check out the cool dad we're looking for?
Yeah, sure, I'll go with you.
All right.
In the meantime, back at the tea cottage with Coney. So you take a sip, and again, no, you said you down it. So you have a drink of your tea, and it is just tea. It does taste really different, but really good. Like it's you haven't tried the wine here, but you probably would draw the connection that it may have similar ingredients. So this is probably Benchley berry tea. Yeah, it's pretty tasty. The woman sits down opposite of you and kind of looks you over without saying anything, just casually, looking you up and down more or less.
Well, I would like to look her up and down as well.
She
Do you invite strangers into your house for tea a lot?
Well, there's not very many strangers that come to this town anymore. Curious though, how exactly did you get here?
I had a ship and I sailed here.
Yes, but many people have tried to sail here recently, and all have been destroyed by the Megarin.
Oh yeah, so I recant the tale of us nearly escaping with our lives and how dangerous it was, and how I helped 3 people, actually 4 people, right? Because they all almost nearly died, and now we are here.
This tale you tell, it's quite intriguing. I don't quite understand. Megarin, this sea belongs to her. It is her territory, and anything passing by is subject to her judgment. She hasn't let anything come to Pal Shar in quite a long time. What makes you different?
She must have good taste.
Curious. I've seen the black of her eyes. The Pal Shar itself has only been permitted foreigners for this long by the grace of the Megarin. But clearly, maybe up until now, I believe the time was over. That she had decided that once again, Pal Shar will no longer be a part of the rest of the world. But if you're here, maybe I'm incorrect.
How long have you been here? Because you look like a stranger yourself, being in different attire than the rest of the villagers.
Yeah, I came from quite far away. I spent many a year in places like in near the Silver Helm Castle, and a lot of my time in Stonebrook, but that was years ago now. The Megarin saw to that when she destroyed my ship and left me stranded on this island.
Where were you headed? Were you headed here?
Yes, I was just worked on a merchant ship looking for some wine. Wealth was a very powerful motivator back before I was enlightened.
So, what is your name? Probably should have asked that first, but yeah.
It's been so long since someone's asked me that. Donna of the family Hugh.
Hmm.
Yeah, the way she's talking, it sounds as though like she's kind of like idolizing the Megarin, like just near worship of the idea that it's more of like a deity than just a large sea creature.
Can I do a perception check around her house to see if she has any like religious things that make me feel like
sure.
She's maybe worships it?
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Oh gosh. 16.
16. Okay. A couple of glances around, you do see that there's quite a bit of, I guess, memorabilia of shark related things. Like on the mantle on the side, there's actually a giant tooth that could have come directly from the megalin. It's about 4 or 5 times larger than a bunch of little teeth around it, which are again in and of themselves fairly large as well. There isn't anything in terms of like, say, like a shrine or, you know, religious ideology in that sense, but it's clear that this woman spends a lot of time in terms of thinking about and I guess worship is a bit of a strong word, but it's along those lines. She's obsessed with the creature, basically.
Okay. Let's see. So I noticed the tooth on her in her house, and I would like to ask her about how she obtained the tooth, because I think it's cool.
The tooth. That's the you mean the large one that was taken. This is basically all I have left of the ship that I was a part of. When I washed up on shore here in Malashar, there were wooden remains of my vessel. One of them had that tooth embedded into it, and it's been with me ever since.
Well, I think it is time for me to go and explore the rest of the town. Maybe you could tell me a good tourist attraction.
Tourists, we don't get very many of those, especially lately. Mayhaps your best bet would be to go to the Red Hill pub. That's usually fairly lively. Some people enjoy going to the vineyards. The Loxton family are pretty accommodating for people that would like to see the berries before they're put into the wine, but alas, there's not really a whole lot much more going on in this town at this point.
Okay, so I would like to bow to her also and say adieu. And I think I will make my way to the pub to go and try and find my comrades.
Sure. As you go to leave the cottage, you see like a little dog running underneath your feet and head up and start like jumping up at her like ankle until she puts some food down on the floor. But yeah, you can make your way back towards the tavern where she told you to. As you do, you actually see Sen and Cyrus walking towards you. You guys kind of collide and like meet in front of the home where Cyrus, you were told that this is where you could find Philip Jorhal.
Cody, how you been? Long time. I've been partaking of the wine a little bit. I'm not drinking it so slowly now. Now I'm kind of chugging.
Maybe some tea will help you.
So look, hey, listen, our dude Philip Jordash is in this house over here. The guy we're looking for. Let's go check him out. Yeah, that's the one. And then I go up to the door and I do shave and a haircut, 2 bits on the door. Like,
all right. And Roland, just to let you know, you're there with them as well.
Okay.
Roland, hey, we missed you, boy.
I is back.
I'll say you were at the tavern, or you were just slow to get off the ship, but you are there with them now outside the home.
Was he eating mac and cheese at the tavern?
I was on spaghetti.
All right, so Cyrus knocks on the door. An aging gentleman opens, and looks outside. Yes.
Are you Philip Josephus?
My name is Philip, but I don't know that name.
All right, you know what I mean. There's like 30
I
people.
think he means crap, I can't read my
You can just say Jorhal?
Yeah, Jorhal, yes.
Yes, that is me. What can I do for you?
Cool. So like, you kind of ghosted on your son and stopped writing him letters mysteriously. So we took this entire voyage to come check on you. So how are you?
You've been talking to DJ?
Yep, DJ Jordanowski.
That's very comforting to hear. I appreciate that. I didn't, how you say, ghost on him. It's just there's no means of getting communication out of the island anymore. Where did you people come from?
We came from a ship that we sailed here and barely escaped with our lives. We were attacked a few times by creatures of horrors that you cannot imagine.
Are you still telling that story?
It is not a story, it is the truth.
If that's what helps you sleep at night, then okay.
And excuse our friend, by the way. He has partaken in the pleasures of your island maybe a little bit too much.
You liked it a lot. Don't let him fool you.
Speaking of which, just about empty here, Mr. Jordash. Could you possibly top me off?
Sure. Please come in. I have some wine if you enjoy imbibing.
I wouldn't say no.
Okay. So you guys head inside. When inside, he grabs a bottle of wine and pours it into the goblet for you. Anybody else that wants one can also have a glass.
They'll all take them, and if they don't finish theirs, I'm happy to assist.
I'll ask for one, and then I won't drink any because I would like to investigate the situation because we are trying to get information from this guy.
Yep. Sen?
Sen is going to casually take a sip of it and then just give it to Cyrus because she's not really a fan.
Okay.
Cyrus gives her a wink that's supposed to be like subtle, but like it's like a wink. Thanks.
Cyrus is feeling it, isn't he? All right, so the two of you will take. Oh, actually, Roland, are you drinking as well?
Yep.
Okay. So all three of you take a swig, mainly at the same time, and it tastes compared to what you had at the tavern. This tastes rancid. Like normally it wouldn't have. It's decent enough wine, but after having the benchberry wine, this is clearly not the same stuff.
I throw down my goblet. It's like, irate. What the hell, sir? Have you served us?
It's got like a hint of like mocha.
What this is I don't understand. This is Nori-Mo blueberry wine. It's very good.
Oh, what the hell?
I'm not leaving it to.
I'd like to take a sip now that everyone's saying it's disgusting.
It doesn't taste that bad to you. I mean, it's like I said, it's not. Oh my god, it's amazing, but it's decent enough wine.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is perfectly fine wine. I've had way worse.
Yeah, she doesn't have a very good palate.
I don't like it, but I'm going to ask for more.
Okay. So you guys sit there and basically discuss stuff and sample his wares, his wine, and yeah, he says, so you've been talking to DJ. That means he is okay then, right? He hasn't tried to calm himself.
No, I mean physically he's fine. He's a little emotionally distraught. He's got some issues now, thanks to you.
Well, there's not really much I can do. It's this island. Whatever act of God is happening here, we are on our own. We are quarantined. Nothing seems to get off or on the island until now.
Great. So you're telling us we're like trapped on this island now?
Potentially.
Dang it, DJ.
You are the first to arrive as well, so maybe the gods favor you.
Certainly don't favor your wine. Say that. Cool. So do you want to?
Oh no.
Sen is going to look over at Philip and just, what do you mean people are disappearing? Like that mega Ren thing that everybody keeps talking about?
It's not disappearing per se. It's no merchant ships. Merchants, they normally come like 2, 3, 4 times a week. It was getting to a point where it was getting kind of difficult to keep up the demand for the wine. The problem with I guess the benefit of bench berries is that they're not seasonal. They grow all year round. So merchants are constantly coming, but there hasn't been anybody here in months. And any ship that has tried to leave has just never returned. So we really have no idea what's going on.
And why have you not communicated with Dion?
Because there's a method of communication. It's anything that leaves the island doesn't come back.
But why?
You just crossed the Rom Pal Shar. You would probably know better than I do. I don't know.
It was more of a rhetorical question.
But why?
He was asking it of the heavens.
Oh, I've never been one for social cues.
All right, so Mr. Jordy LaForge, are we gonna, when we leave, are you gonna come with us, or like you got some message for your son, or what? The boy's hurting. What are you gonna do?
I didn't consider that, but that's not a bad idea, actually. Yes, if you would have me, sure, I would love to go and see Dion myself.
Sweet. We'll just need you to bring a bunch of those berries, and if you could bring some diagrams of the winery, that'd be great as well. We'll get you out of here.
I don't have diagrams of winery, but I can certainly offer you this as compensation for your trouble. And then he reaches under like a counter area and pulls out a decently sized chest and opens it up, and inside there's 5 full bottles of benchberry wine.
Hell yeah. Let's crack them open.
All right.
So I'd like to interject and kind of like whisper to my comrades that maybe we should, ask the captain if the guy can even join our shift, because, he might not be allowed.
I was just thinking that myself.
Come on, we're the heroes of the Alton.
Have you seen the look that Sharkbait gives everybody that dares cross Erica? Because it's pretty scary.
That's a good point. Didn't consider that.
If you want to go through with this, it's your idea, because I'm not undermining the captain.
All right, how about this? We'll take the wine for now, and then we'll go talk to the captain, and we'll check back with you later, Philip.
Sure.
We could do a mutiny, overthrow that captain.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
We'll just vote on it, but it looks like it's not going to end up well for me.
All right, so then you guys are gonna head to see the captain.
Yep.
Okay.
Captain Erica.
All right, so as you guys bid your farewell to Philip for now, or maybe forever, you do take the wine. I'm assuming, Cyrus, you're not gonna leave that behind. And you make it out, and as you get closer to where the ship is, you see that there are still quite a gathering, and people are talking quite loudly. It's a bunch of like yelling, not angrily, but more like frantic, trying to figure out what to do. You hear people yelling like, the beast must be dealt with. We need help, and things of this nature. The conversation continues on like this until Captain Passer herself offers to basically take the Alton out and more or less get to Nori-Mo and basically call the cavalry, get the naval forces of Nori-Mo involved to see if we can open the lines of trade with Mal and Shar again. There are a couple of people that are arguing whether they should do that. Should they not upset the Megarin and keep the ship here until they know for sure it's safe to pass? And there's all kinds of yelling about what they should and shouldn't do. Do any of you want to have your voices heard?
Yeah, I'll just interject that I think our work here is done. I'm good with getting out on the road.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm good with whatever the captain is, down for. So
Loyal.
I think I'm going to mention to my crewmates about the lady that I had tea with and how there was this like shark tooth in her house, and that I think we should go get it. Because I think it could be useful later.
Anyone have a response?
There's a tooth in a random person's house.
It's a shark tooth.
Yes, it's a shark tooth from this lady that I met. Her name is Donna.
Is Donna a shark?
No, she's just a lady, and she said she was stuck here on the island because of the shark, and she has this giant tooth that's from the shark, and I think we should take the giant tooth so that way we can tell the people that we have proof that we can take down the monster.
Okay.
Plus the intimidation factor. If the shark comes up to us, we'll just hold it up and be like,
We should bring the entire crew to Donna's house. Just to like surprise her.
Oh, she also has a dog. Just wanting to let you all know in case you're allergic.
very considerate of you.
All right. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the four of you make your way to the small cottage of Donna, sitting atop a little bit of a hill. Yeah, she is still home. Basically just sitting there, drinking away her benchberry with tea. And as you guys enter, she's like, "Oh, you've returned."
I mean, it's my first time here, so no, but but good to
I was
be
kind of looking at the elf at the time, but
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You should try some of her fantastic tea. It is probably as great as the wine here.
Well, it's a little late in the day for tea for me.
I'm gonna demand some tea. Donna, tea now, please. Quick. We're
it's
busy.
a very strange demand that ends with "please," good sir. But yeah, okay, she'll pour up a mug for you, and you can sample it, and it's tasty. It's
I want
very,
some
very
tea with
tasty.
a side of shark tooth.
All right, while she's pouring the tea, can I try to steal the shark tooth?
All right, give me a sleight of hand check.
All right. 10.
10.
10.
As she pours the tea for Roland, you like sneak your way over to where the shark tooth is, and you slowly put your hand out, try and grab it. She looks over at you and says, "Hey, what are you doing there?"
I'm gonna distract Donna. I'm gonna get up and start dancing. I'm gonna say, Donna, what do you think of these moves?
She looks at you confused and sneers a little bit, then looks back at Roland or at Cyrus. Says, "What are you doing over there?"
Oh, I was just admiring your beautiful shark tooth.
Donna, don't worry about that guy. Focus.
My friend, he's still having the effects of the pleasures of the land. So I am so sorry for him and anything that he does ever while he's here at your house.
He might be touching things. We don't know.
And I try and kind of push him away from the shark tooth, but still trying to get her attention on him, being kind of drunk from the wine.
Sure. Give me a persuasion check, and because he is visibly drunk, I'll give you advantage on it.
Okay. Let's see. 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, she buys what you're saying, and he kind of just looks at him and keeps her eye focused on him as he walks away from the tooth. So now you are standing more or less at the mantle as he is a few steps to the side, and he has her undivided attention.
Yeah, so I would like to then try and swipe it.
All right, he's sleight of hand check.
Okay.
And while she's doing that, I'm gonna be really lavishing attention on the dog, like, "Oh, what a cute dog you have!" And, really tried to win her over.
25.
The dog, 25. The tooth just disappears, and it's all of a sudden in your hand.
Okay.
And the dog is a big fan of you, Cyrus.
Nice.
The tail is wagging so fast that you think it's going to take flight.
Hey, can I have your dog?
No, you can't have my dog.
Okay, just asking.
Should we steal this dog?
All right,
Can
Okay.
Donna even stop
I
us?
think you all should leave.
I'm gonna use a thaumaturgy to make like a big splashing sound, like a huge splashing sound as loud as I can in the direction of the water, and then be like, "Oh my god, I think it's the megala whatever thing. I think it's here. You should definitely go check it out."
Give you a deception check, sir.
That rolled a 1.
Does this woman live by the ocean?
The whole
We're
thing
just
is
like in
basically
the
by
middle of the
ocean.
island?
Well, no, it's on the Malin Shar is like on the tip of the island, so
Oh,
pretty much
okay.
everything's within earshot of the water.
Got it.
She literally looks at you. She's like, "How stupid do you think I am? Get out,
It's just a joke.
leave." And she points to the door.
Is she squinting?
She's scouring right now. Yes. She knows there's something wrong, but doesn't know quite what it is yet.
Are there muscular teenagers around?
No.
No.
Just her.
I am so sorry for my friends and the lack of manners. And I am sorry if anything has made you feel ill of us, as I bow and gesture my friends to leave.
Well, actually, are you guys leaving?
Oh yeah, somebody's got to check on Cyrus, right?
I mean, and she asked us to leave, so you know.
All right.
I'll just hold up my empty goblet one time quick before we leave, just to questioningly, like.
She doesn't even respond to you, but she does respond to Coney and saying, "You really should pick your friends a little wiser in the future."
I salute her and I say that these are not my friends; they are my crewmates, and I just follow orders. And once again, try and get everyone to leave.
Right.
I'm also going to bow and salute and say, "Don't look for any of your prized possessions, because they might not be there." As we leave, as I leave the door.
I'm gonna wave to the dog and then go.
I gotta make a roll. 1 second. Okay. She kind of dismisses what you said, Mr. Roland.
Yes,
Doesn't
good.
believe a word. Just she's kind of tuned every one of you out except for Coney.
Thank God.
Luckily for you guys. But yeah, so you guys leave, and I'm guessing now, where's it to? Heading back to the ship, or is there anywhere else?
Should we get something to eat, or like?
I mean, we should probably get off this island pretty quick before she notices her thing is missing if possible.
Well, unfortunately, it's near sundown at this point in time. So the plan that the consensus of the community comes up with is that the Alton is going to set sail at dawn and make its way back to Nori-Mo to kind of get naval support and find some solution for Malin Shar being cut off from the rest of the world. You guys have the option of finding a place in town to stay, probably at the tavern, or you are welcome to stay on the ship or on the ground. I mean, you really can do whatever you want, but those are the viable options. But yeah, you guys will be shipping out at first light.
Sun is going to stay on the ship.
Yes, Cyrus stay on the ship also along with the bottles of wine that Philip gave him, and get a couple hours of praying in before bed too.
Okay.
Coney feels most at home on the ship, so I'm going to sleep among the waves.
Okay. And Roland?
Can I sleep at Donna's house?
You can try.
I'm gonna go and knock on the door. And is she there? Nobody knows.
Are you just like, as everyone like goes onto the ship, are you just heading to Donna's, or are you letting them know you're heading there, or?
Yep, and I'm gonna sleep there, whether she wants me to or not.
So you guys know he's heading to Donna's.
Bye. Here I go.
Can Sen try to stop him?
No, you're not gonna. I want to go to Donna. She has plenty of rooms. This one lady. I'll be fine. I'm gonna sleep on a ship. We sleep on a ship for most of the year, people. She had comfortable beds.
I really don't think that's a good idea.
But I will sleep at the tavern then.
No, don't. It's up to you.
No. I'll go to the tavern. I don't want to step on any shoes here.
I support Roland's decision on whatever he wants to do, whether that's going to Donna's house or not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the tavern.
So where would you like? You just want to go to the tavern? You don't want to go to Donna's?
I've been swayed.
All right. It's no problem to get a room at the tavern, so you can stay there through the night. Okay. With that, you guys are going to settle in for the evening, do your normal, I guess, nightly routines, which Cyrus is probably praying. Sen, I'm assuming you're going to mess around with your deck of cards. Because Sen is a lot like Dragar.
No, she's gonna go look for shark bait.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Assuming it's not too late, yeah, you can find shark bait on the deck, just kind of doing odds and ends.
Sweet.
What are you gonna do with shark bait?
Say hello.
Okay. She turns over with a curious look and says, "Hi."
So, what you doing?
Preparing the ship. Is there something I can do for you?
Well, got a proposition for you, Sharkbait. How about you come back to my bunk and we hang out?
In what context are you trying to pull this off?
I think you know what context, Devin.
Wow. Okay.
In every context.
Cool. Yeah, give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Okay. Oh, shit. That's a 4.
She looks at you and is like, perhaps you should just get some sleep tonight.
Okay. I mean, you can't blame a girl for trying. And then she, defeated, just goes back to her bunk.
Oh, God. Give me a perception check as you're heading back to your bunk.
That's a 6.
6?
Yeah.
All right, never mind. You as you turn to go back, you before going into the bunks, you do look over your shoulder a little bit, and you get a kind of a glimpse that she looked in your direction for a second as you were leaving, but you can't see where she was looking for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any other last actions you guys would like to do before the night concludes?
Cyrus is good. He's not going to try to get with anybody or anything.
Last chance. If you want to go to Donna's, now is the time to speak your mind, Roland.
Man. Can I look around for... I'm in the tavern, right?
Yeah.
And this is where we had wine?
This is where you had your wine earlier. Yeah.
I'm going to look around for some cheese.
You can order some cheese from the tavern keeper, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to order some cheese from the customer, whatever it's called. Room service.
It's not quite room service, but okay, yeah, it's no problem for you to get some cheese to bring back to your room.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Yep.
All right. So with that, night is going to fall. You guys will rest through the night, going into the morning, and at this point, going to take roughly a 15-minute break or so, and then we'll come back on the second half and see if you guys can get back to Nori-Mo in one piece.
Okay, sounds good.
Won't be a problem.
Nice. All right, so I'll start us back up in a bit, boys.
All right.
Cool.